In my years of instructing students in seminary and youth groups, I've come across dozens of young people searching for an identity. Youth who believed they were nobodies, that God would touch their lives through someone else to help them believe that they were in fact a somebody. Such was the case with a student named Daryl. He was a sophomore at Roy High School, located near Ogden in northern Utah. Daryl needed and demanded a lot of attention. Like a puppy dog, he followed me everywhere I went. During lunch and before and after school, he appeared. He just wanted to be listened to, reckoned with, needed, accepted, loved. He had been told all of his nearly 15 years of life that he was a nobody, and he was believing this deceptive lie. Something within me whispered that he had a higher destiny. I felt that the only positive strokes he received all day came from me. I tried to take and make time for Daryl, even though at times it was difficult. He so badly wanted to be accepted that he would almost do anything for attention or to be noticed in my class. He would offer to say the prayer, read the scriptures or the story, or volunteer to be the first to want to be a part of the object lesson or role play experience. One day my class was in one of those "we're too cool to do anything spiritual today" moods. Daryl wanted to be involved, so I involved him. He ended up doing everything on the devotional. He led the music, said the prayer, read the scripture, and did the object lesson. One day Daryl came up to me and said, "Guess what, Brother Nelson? Tomorrow is my 15th birthday, and I just thought you'd like to know." I had a pair of sunshine officers who were chosen as class officers. They anonymously went around doing things for people in the class. They would recognize birthdays and other special events in the lives of their classmates. I asked both Lori and Sheila to please put together a cake and a thoughtful card that we could give to Daryl the next day. Bless their hearts, Sheila and Lori came through, but Daryl did not show up to class the next day. After some follow-up calls with the school, I found out he had checked out of school and moved over to Clearfield that day. We could have dropped the opportunity to serve, but we did not. We felt impressed to find him. With Daryl's new address in hand and both class officers in the back of my car, we headed for Clearfield after school. We found that Daryl lived in a trailer court located in a poorer section of the city. As we entered the trailer park and started hitting the first of many speed control bumps, there stood Daryl, straddling his Stingray bicycle. The bike had no chain, and both tires were flat. He was having a good time just pushing it around. He shuffled over to us and said, "Brother Nelson, you remembered my birthday! You remembered my birthday!" He motioned to have us follow him and led us to a shabby, aluminum-clad trailer. He invited us inside to meet his parents. Lori and Sheila followed with a surprise chocolate cake and candles hidden behind their backs. His parents were gracious and yet backward in appearance and dress. Even though their vocabulary was simple, their manners were genuine and appreciative. "Mom and Dad," Daryl said, "this is Brother Nelson, my seminary teacher. He's come here along with Sheila and Lori to wish me a happy birthday." We withdrew from behind our backs the surprise cake and lit the 15 candles. We sang him "Happy Birthday," and the parents joined in. It was a thrill to watch him blow all the candles out. Tears streamed down his face, and we too were touched by the spirit of this moment. As he choked back the tears, he motioned us to follow him out of the door. We said our goodbyes and walked down the trailer house steps. He threw his arms around my neck and exclaimed, "Thanks, Brother Nelson, for coming. You know, this is the first birthday cake I've ever received in my life. Thanks so much." Tears filled our own eyes. He gave us his official bicycle escort out of the trailer court. We left spiritually lifted and subdued. Each of us has felt like a nobody at some time. We have all felt like failures. Whether it's been getting struck by a flying lunch table or forgetting our tennis shoes, we have all felt those feelings of discouragement that come with low self-esteem and lack of appreciation and attention. But I can testify that each of you young people is somebody really special. Now this story comes from EFY chapter number 2, Just Call Me Somebody and Nobody's Not My Name, from the EFY book published by Bookcraft Incorporated, entitled Feeling Great, Doing Right, and Hanging Tough. The story of Daryl was also featured in a book cassette form in Sunshine for the Latter-day Saint Teenager Soul, published by Bookcraft, in the Service, Love, and Compassion section, Nobody Is Not Your Name, page 34. Social awareness is the ability to take the perspective of and empathize with others, including those from diverse backgrounds and cultures. The ability to understand the social and ethical norms for behavior and to recognize family, school, and community resources and support. You can see in my story of Daryl, our Basin Bite social awareness was defined and cultivated. Sheila, Lori, and I were able to take the right perspective and empathize with Daryl, and that we reached out to him in a positive, social, and ethical way, supporting him and his family in his own safe space and environment at home. Some buzzwords which relate to social awareness are diversity, empathy, respect, gratitude, compassion, and unity. Let's examine each of these words more closely and, using Daryl's story, see how our Basin Bite of social awareness worked for him, Sheila, Lori, and me. First, diversity. Diversity is looking at individual differences in a positive way and the inclusion of those individuals into our lives. Daryl's struggles were apparent, and it took getting out of comfort zones to really understand his needs and act on them. Second, empathy. My class officers and I really tried to put ourselves in Daryl's situation. How might it feel to us not to be included? How might it feel to us to not be recognized on our birthdays? How might it feel to us if we lived in poorer circumstances? Third, respect. We felt Daryl had the same right to be respected as any other class member. We wanted to show him the kindness he deserved. He was just as important as my other students. Fourth, gratitude. Daryl expressed his gratitude in his excitement to see us coming while on his bicycle, his demeanor as he introduced us to his parents, and his words, "Thanks, Brother Nelson, for coming. You know, this is the first birthday cake I've ever received in my life. Thanks so much." Fifth, compassion. Compassion is defined as a feeling of deep sympathy and sorrow for another who is stricken by misfortune, accompanied by a strong desire to alleviate the suffering, unquote. Compassion was demonstrated by Sheila and Lori's service to bake the birthday cake, yet that compassion was extended from their disappointment when Daryl did not show up to school on his birthday, and their willingness to find him and present him with their homemade frosted gift along with a personal birthday card. Sixth, unity. This whole experience brought us all closer together. We all felt more unified and a part of each other's lives. His parents felt closer to us and our class. Daryl felt like he belonged, was needed, and was important. We felt those amazing feelings of doing good things and of thinking about and serving someone else besides ourselves. When we shared the experience with the class and that Daryl had moved and would not be back with us, our class was more unified too. This experience strengthened all of us. Diversity, empathy, respect, gratitude, compassion, unity. These words are a win-win combinations for success as you become more socially aware. Please remember, just call me somebody. Nobody's not my name. Basin Bison, you are somebody. Social awareness, your next Basin Bite.